Welcome to another exciting edition to Grove City Hockey Presents
Hockey in our neck of the woods, and you, sir, were a very talked about person towards the end.
I'm a fifth-year senior, kind of. Well, it's my sixth year of college. Incredible.
Hey guys, we want to say thank you to our sponsor, Cut Shield, for bringing you this episode. Make sure you check them out on the link below and use the promo code for 25% off your order. Used by all 32 NHL teams and players, Cut Shield is the premier protective player clothing designed by players for players. Their innovative cut-resistant clothing has prevented serious injury to numerous players, including over 30 NHL players. Cut Shield gives you the peace of mind to go out and play without worrying about injury. Use our promo code Grove City Hockey, all lowercase and no space, for an additional 25% off your order today. Welcome to GC8 Podcast. I'm your host, Ben W. Stock, and with me is Executive Director of the NCRHA, Brennan Edwards. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. Happy to be here, Ben.
Well, thanks for taking the time. I know I had reached out to you several months ago. Our timing just couldn't quite mesh up, but I'm thankful that we were able to mesh out right before the Collegiate National Championships. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the NCRHA for those that may not know about it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, perfect. So NCRHA is the National Collegiate Roller Hockey Association, and we're the NGB for collegiate roller hockey in the U.S. And our national championships actually start here, and they're here in April 17th to 21st up in Auburn, Maine. But just background on the league really is we operate a season from October to March with 5 regional organizations, conferences. And then from there, we select the teams to nationals each year. So yeah, we're up in Auburn, Maine. First time up into Maine, but we're excited to be up there this week. So yeah, I mean, one thing I know, we've got like 47 teams up there this weekend. So 4 different national championships to hand out. Should be a great week.
Yeah, so you have a Division 1, a Division 2, Division 3, and then there's a 4th division, right?
Yeah, the 4th division is called the AA division. And so primary teams, your first team always plays D1, 2, or 3, and then your secondary teams play for the AA division.
Okay. So that's like so you got your varsity and then your JV. That's perfect.
That's usually the easiest way to explain it to people. Yeah, if you think about high school sports, varsity and JV. Exactly.
Cool. How many teams do you have participating throughout the year?
Yeah, so this year we had 64 teams nationwide, between all the conferences, going all the way from California all the way up into the Northeast. So yeah, 64 teams there, spread across all these divisions. D1 is our typically most competitive division and most organized schools. That's also kind of a smaller division. And then D2 is kind of next, and D3 is our biggest division. And really, there's a lot of teams there in Division 3 nationwide, really fighting to get a bid towards nationals. For D1 and D2, the majority of them got the bids to nationals, whereas D3 had a smaller, about half the pool gets to go.
Yeah. And then you guys used to have a junior college division. There's only one junior college team remaining in the country, and that is Henry Ford Junior College. They accepted a Division 1 bid, which I thought was crazy, because of the competitiveness. But they seem to be holding their own pretty well.
Yeah, they're a great team. They play in the Midwest, the NCRHL. And they've been competitive with the D1 and D2 teams all year long. And yeah, you're right. We used to have a junior college division at nationals in the past when there were several junior college teams in that season. So you got to go back maybe 3, 4, 5 years to where we had 3 teams battle it out for nationals. That one was, I think that one was maybe like Cedar Rapids, Iowa, where we had a team from Northern California and 2 teams from St. Louis. And there's just been not too many junior colleges in the league the last few years. Henry Ford's been the only one this last couple of years. And due to that, we put a rule in place a couple of years back saying, hey, if there's only one junior college team, NCRHA will try to find a place for them at nationals. It doesn't say it has to be D1 or has to be D2. We want them to have a good event and be competitive. But really, we've opened that so that every year, if there's only one, they still have a chance. So otherwise, they're playing a season and may not have that culmination and nationals experience and everything. So I think we've gotten to a good spot with that and allowing for the Henry Ford College guys to come play.
Yeah, I think it's great. And then you said you had 5 regions, right? You have the Southwest, the Midwest, you have the Northeast, Southeastern, right? If I'm not mistaken.
So East Coast, Eastern Collegiate is
okay. ECHRA. Yep.
Yeah. Then you got SECRHL Southeast, SCHL Southwest, MCRHL Midwest, and then WCRHL is the Western Conference. We used to have more conferences, or some of them combined. Even the ECRHA used to have 2 conferences up there. The other one was called the NCRHA, which was more of the Boston and North teams, whereas the rest, the ECRHA, was kind of from New York and Philly South.
Yep. Yeah, I've noticed that.
It just made sense to combine those at one point.
Yeah, and then, but like you said, though, with the fluctuation with the landscape's always changing in roller hockey. Some schools that are here this year might not be there next year. Some schools that weren't here this year will be here next year to replace those guys, those teams. What are you guys doing to try to spread the word to increase the number of teams? Because right now, I think in Division I ice hockey, you only have 60 teams. But then as you scroll down to, I think, Division III, like you were saying too, you guys, you see a lot more teams being competitive. I think there's 208 different teams at that Division III level too.
Okay, yeah, so they kind of have a similar setup where there's a lot of teams that want to compete, but maybe they're not at the top level. And that's fine. Right. That's great, right? We want as many colleges represented nationwide as possible, regardless of the skill level. I mean, this is a club sport at the majority of the schools, and a great extracurricular, and really help make these guys college experience. So we'd love to see more teams get involved. Some of the things that we're trying to do a little better are getting the word out in local rinks. Have posters up, know them that we're coming into town to do an event. Try to work with the high school leagues that are around. There's just, unfortunately, there's not that many high school leagues as well. So maybe if I think tournament roller hockey is doing pretty good, but scholastic, from high school down, not so much, right? I think some of that's attributed to ice hockey swallowing up roller in certain markets. Like if you look at Southern California, it was always roller, and then now it's much heavier ice. So there's roller rinks that close down. There's roller rinks that only do adult, and all of a sudden, all of those guys like me just keep getting older and older. There's no 8 and unders. So it's a challenge. And, we do know with college is it's cyclical, right? Every player's only there for 4 or 5 years. So you might have a great team for 3-4 years, and then they all graduate off. And, the sad part is if that team doesn't do anything about it and making good transition plans, they just fade out. So I think we want to try to work with these teams better and help them with their transition plans, make sure they get new leadership ready, so that the new leadership isn't, paddling upriver or doesn't know what to do.
Right. Yeah. And one of those universities that seems to be doing really well with those transition is Lindenwood. They always seem to be battling it out in that Division I and division, or that AA division as well. They seem to have their core group, staff in place. It's not a player coach situation. It's literally a coach who's been there for a long time, and you really can't go wrong with Ron Bielston at the helm.
Yeah, actually, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they made a heck of a program there, and it's with the school support that they're able to do what they do. We'd love for more schools to be able to kind of treat it in the same way, but unfortunately, at a lot of schools, they don't get that support, and it's going to stay club, or it's going to stay with no paid coach, or no university support. Even some of the other schools in D1 that are doing great don't have the school support that you really would like them to. So they're paying out of pocket. Yeah, maybe they have a coach that's been around for a long time, but it's probably because he loves the game, not that he's making money off it, or even just not really backed the way they should be. So we'd love to see more get in there and be able to do that, and really the more that can do that makes for a better Division One, and just better games, always better challenges, and all of that.
Yeah, and then and also I'm starting to see some roller hockey scholarships as well. Not many teams are able to afford that, but I have been hearing that there's also the roller hockey initiative. I think that's what it was, the Roller Cup initiative with U.S. Roller Cup. They're trying to start something new to help get some scholarships going for those guys that really want to continue their roller hockey dreams. They may not have been like the best ice hockey guys, but they definitely love playing the game of roller, and help out their local universities or colleges as well.
Yeah, I mean, anything that helps the teams recruit is a good thing. We want to see if people are able to attend school and might need help. We've got some rules in place that are supposed to keep that playing field level, and not have I don't know. Let's just say, this is just speaking hypothetically, just people that have millions of dollars and they could just buy the best roller hockey team, right? I mean, like, that's not the point. But a lot of schools are expensive, and within the limits and the reason, and then with U.S. Roller Cup and the College Roller Foundation, I believe, is what that arm is called. That's really new, and so we're looking forward to seeing what they're doing, and we'll see how that goes. We need to touch base with them and just kind of get talking and see as well. But I mean, it sounds like he's trying to do good things, and knows that college students could use some level of help, right? I mean, like I said, half the programs or more don't have a lot of university assistance, so it could only be helpful.
Yeah, I remember being a broke college student myself, back in the day. So we've all been there, and and it's one of those things where it's like the university, or the college that I went to, they didn't have a roller program. So it's just one of those things. Anything that can help, get the players on the court or on the floor would be beneficial to the game, because not only does it help grow the game, but it helps improve the game, because now you're bringing a different style aspect to it, whereas before you may not have that aspect.
Yep. Yeah. 100%. I mean, the guys that are going up to Maine this week to play nationals, that a lot of them, that's something that's coming out of pocket and not exactly financed. I mean, I know back when I was in school, we could apply, for extra budget because we made nationals, right? And there was no way it covered everything, but it would pay the tournament fee and maybe something, but we were still paying flights on our own to, I mean, this was in 2000 to go to Florida, right? That's a big deal, so it's a big deal to the guys, and we just hope they all have a good week.
Yeah. And you guys have been around for quite some time. I think I was looking at the statistics not too long ago, or the other day, and I want to say it was 1990 something, like 93.
Yeah. In 93, 94, there was some sort of league that wasn't, or maybe multiple leagues that weren't really talking to each other yet. I mean, seriously, the internet wasn't really much of a thing. So how do you find them? But I remember in 94 seeing one of those, the free newspapers that they used to have at the roller hockey rinks, like inline and skating. And so it was like, listing out stuff, and it says college division, UCLA and some other school. And I'm like, I had no idea. And then turns out that championship was played at my home rink in Torrance, California. And I was a high schooler, but I still had no idea, because there was really no way to even know. It was held on a weekend, and we had no idea. So luckily now it's a lot easier to get the word out. But yeah, that was 93, 94. And then in pretty much 95, 96, USA Hockey Inline held a national championship in Vegas in I believe it was September 1996, September 1996. And it had a college division. And our team played Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and we did all right. One of the junior colleges won, I believe, El Camino College from California. They were stacked. No hard feelings. But they definitely had some guys. And it was pretty much the year after that. I think what that did was it got the right people talking to each other. And then the league started to come together. Like the California kind of college roller hockey guys started talking to the Philly roller hockey guys. And I think more like at the end of that 96, 97 season, there was actually a combined league. And then in 98, 99 was the first official season of college roller hockey that had 5 conferences and, had a season that was comparable from geography to geography and had a national championships. And yeah, 99 was in April 1999. It was in Chicago, Illinois, in a temporary rink bubble. So that was one of the ones I missed, but yeah, that was a good one. I believe Michigan State won that, so that's technically the first official college roller hockey championship that Michigan State took back in 99.
Yeah, and then they won it again in 98, 99, and then they did it again a couple years after that. Eastern Michigan also won a couple. That was when I started to notice that roller hockey was an option. But again, where I was going to school, I couldn't afford to go to the bigger universities to be able to jump on. I ended up down in Bloomington, Illinois, Illinois State's home rink there for a little bit. Not playing for Illinois State, but just playing in their rec leagues that they had. So that was a lot of fun playing against those guys.
Well, they'll be playing this week. So
yeah,
the Redbirds are up there, ready to go. I think they're sporting a new jersey for nationals as well. That's up on their Instagram page. So they're excited about that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was trying to check out the home link rink there, because the heartlandhockey.net just seems to send me to a YouTube page. For a YouTube video, and I was just like, that's not what I wanted. But yeah, I mean, and I think that was in 2004, 2005 is when I was down there. 2003, 2000 to 2005, and then I came back up in 2006. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun times back then.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it was a long time ago that I played college roller hockey, and really wish I would have stuck around a couple more years to play, because you don't always have the opportunity to play in a league like that or at a level like that. And for me, I didn't even play tournament hockey as a kid, right? I just kind of landed at school and they had a tryout or like, hey, just come play with us, and then it just kind of worked out. So like I had no plans or anything for collegiate roller hockey since it was pretty new in 1995 and we didn't know. But I think that's the thing. Like, it's a lot different than other teams, leagues, tournaments, whatever. But it's kind of that season-long thing, and it's your buddies from school, and you're traveling, and you got funny stories because someone did something stupid at a hotel. You learn not to put the team room on your credit card anymore, just like all of that. But just tons of fun times, and within reason, of course. And so that's what we're kind of trying to tell the guys for this week is we hope you come and had a great time. Just be respectful, and please don't break the law. So they should all have a fun trip.
Yeah, it's one of those events where it's, hey, you're encouraged to go out and be a dude. Make your mistakes now, so that way when you get a little bit older, you learn from those mistakes, and then you actually get that real world experience as to, okay, hey, I went to this location and this is what we were able to do, and this is what we were able to have some fun with. So As long as, like you said, as long as you're being respectful, you're being humble and true to yourself, everybody will have an amazing time and create some of those fantastic memories.
Yeah, and with that, the rink for nationals this year, the Norway Savings Bank Arena, they've arranged a couple kind of cool extras for our participants and fans. And so on Thursday night, anyone that's paid admission or is a player or coach, there's a band playing up in the mezzanine at the rink. So that's something that we've talked about before but haven't done. So there's that. And then Friday, there's a local comedian, and he's more than a local comedian. He's from there, but he's been on some other stuff that's going to come in. So we're hoping that we can fill that up so that they feel like it's worth their time, and we hope everyone has fun doing it. Games will be going on at the same time, so it might be a little bit crazy, but should be a fun time to do those things, because normally we're just 100% focused on hockey, and gotta get the games in. You want to make sure that they're good. We're broadcasting the games on our NCRHA TV platform, so people should be able to tune in. And just to go on that for a second, you can watch these games on several things. So your smart TV has an app, NCRHA TV, any smartphone, Apple or Android, and then also the computer. You can go on ncrha.tv and watch the games. So, and then if people check out our website and the schedule, we're playing round robin games Wednesday, Thursday, and then we get into playoffs. But Saturday evening, we've got D1 and D2 championships. And then Sunday afternoon, we've got the D3 and AA championships. And then we're also, for the second straight year, playing an alumni division. And we've got 3 teams playing. We were trying to shoot for more. I think it was just hard for people to get off work and up there. But Vermont, Boston, and Farmingdale are all putting in teams to play alumni. And, last year we had several teams play, but they were all California teams because we were in Irvine. But this is something that we hope to keep doing each year going forward. Because, if I had the time, and I kind of wish I could play it, right? I'll be up there working the event, but I think it'd be a ton of fun to play. Even if we're way too old and just get totally gassed and, get it handed to us by younger alumni, that's still okay.
Right. Because all you're out there to do is what? Have fun, just like you said, so
100%.
Yeah. And I already actually have the NCRHA .TV app on my phone. I didn't know about the other platforms on my smart TV. I'm going to actually do that when we get done. So that way I can make sure that I have it. I almost kind of wish that there was an option to listen to it via like radio style. So where if I can close my phone, then I could just keep plugging away at work, and just listen to it that way. But I'm definitely going to be paying attention. So hopefully, our fans are going to be tuning in and checking it out as well, because, nothing beats quality collegiate roller hockey. In my mind, it's one of the things that hooked me when I was down at Illinois State, in that Bloomington region, when Michigan State and Eastern Michigan came down. I had no idea that Eastern Michigan had just won the national title the year before. Okay. Until after the event. I'm like checking this stuff out. And it turns out that I actually played against some of the alumni from Eastern Michigan from that national title tournament team like a few years later in my competitive career. So it was pretty cool to come across that, and then to just reminisce about, hey guys, I was at this event, and I didn't even know that, that was an option, for me until it was too late.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah. It was hard at points in time to know, and then have enough other bodies, that were interested in it to make it happen. Like that's the challenge is at a school where there's, we got 3 or 4 guys. Mm-hmm. You got to get to like 8 guys to really make it work. Right. And just sometimes how do you find them and how do you pull it off? So there's that issue too. But I love a lot of the names that have played college roller hockey, right? I mean, it's not about name dropping, but when I see some of the college guys end up on the Team USA rosters, that's really cool. I'm like, okay, like I knew like maybe I knew who they were. Maybe I just know that they're really good. But like, oh no, they're on Team USA as well. So pretty nuts, players like Travis Noe.
Yeah.
So so I run the WCRHL as well. So that's why Travis is the first name to my face because into my head because he played for Santa Barbara.
Yep.
But no, there's tons of players, and I think there was a roster that came out for a Team USA in the last couple weeks. So several college guys on there.
Yep. Yeah, Tyler Kraft is one of them. Nathan Sigmund, PJ DiMartino, Joey DiMartino. I can go on. Actually, another one of another collegiate. I had his episode just dropped today. JP Bielstein, his episode just dropped today. I had Marty Kawadz on a couple weeks ago. His episode dropped a few weeks ago, or last week maybe. And even Eddie Dada, he was on. So I mean, it's just one of those things where you go to college, but you love playing the game of hockey, you're gonna run into some collegiate roller hockey players, and I can't stress it enough for those young kids out there that try to find a university or a college that has roller hockey and help keep building up their program because they need you just as much as you need them.
Yeah, these youth players I'm glad you said that. These youth players are 100% what's going to keep this going. So, every 4 or 5 years, someone has to graduate, right? And that just makes the teams keep rolling through rosters over time. But it's about the youth of our sport, knowing about us, wanting to play. And one of the things that we do for that is throughout the season and at nationals, we do a hockey college, which is a free youth clinic. So we're doing a free youth clinic up at nationals in Auburn. And I know that it's way up there for a lot of people, but we are getting signups, I think, from a lot of the local youth that play ice most of the time because they don't put down, there's no roller hockey rink in that area. So they're going to come out and have a free youth clinic led by players and coaches from the NCRHA. So I know there's several players from UC Santa Barbara, Boston, Syracuse, Hofstra. A lot of those guys are going to come help run the clinic. So we can't do it without the players' help. But I know that the kids just love being out there on the rink with players in college uniform. Like you just see like the Boston white and red, and it's iconic, right? Like, I mean, that's Frozen Four kind of stuff,
Yeah.
So you see that and you're like, that's great. Also, Vermont's going to help us out. I neglected to say them, but several Vermont players are going to help us out with the clinic as well. So we hope to get a few more signups. We can take up to 100 kids, and we're currently between 20 and 30. More kids means more volunteers that I need, but I feel like we got the volunteer side covered. So as many kids want to come, ages 5 to 15, we will take you guys in there, and it should be a really fun, super fun hour with the players.
Well, and not only that, but I mean, for an area that doesn't have roller hockey to get that many people signed up already, that's amazing. So, it can only keep going up, and hopefully there'll be enough interest to, maybe start getting the wheels turning about putting in a floor, even if it's just, throughout the summer, get that, the ice and a chance to recoup and recover. And a lot of people don't realize that roller is a little bit easier on the body than ice is. So that's why you tend to notice a lot of guys that, they love playing ice, but they really prefer playing the roller because they can play at it at a longer level. Just like you're starting to see, the masters, and then you have the veterans and the legends for Team USA. Those teams just dropped as well. And you're seeing guys that were playing, back when we were playing. Now they're still playing, there's the legends is over 50. It's 50 and over, so I mean, it's impressive to see, and you can't, thank the Darren Goodwins, the Rob Chortemans enough for everything that they've done for the sport to keep bringing in, interest by, doing what they do on the national level as well.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Those, I wish I was still playing, and I never played at that level, so I wouldn't make the squad. But yeah, super great to see those guys in there too. And yeah, they're they're what have kept this sport going this long. I mean, manufacturer is not just a manufacturer, right? They're a sport ambassador. So the fact that they're not just selling gear, they're out there, and especially in the tournaments, right? A lot of them are sponsoring tournament teams, and that's what a lot of the youth look up to, or the youth is on a team that's out of a rink sponsored by a manufacturer. So yeah, I think that's a big reason that the sport is still going. And we just hope that, people, want to recognize the college and university names, on an equal level as these tournament teams, right? So there should be a scholastic ladder like that, that goes up from youth, junior high, high school, and into college. So we want to keep putting our name out there and seeing. We are doing with Peter Dale the college prospect camp every summer, to where he's got several, like a few teams of players come out, and some of our coaches go up there and they're able to find out more about the league. We're able to talk to them. I think the coaches are talking to them, as is kind of the point, and making some good connections there. So.
Yeah, and Peter Dale was also on the pod not too long ago as well, and he's definitely one of those guys that, he's a great, like you said, ambassador for the sport. He's going out there, he's traveling, he's been there since almost the beginning, if not the beginning, and putting in the effort, putting in the time, and then not only that, but then, we got to thank guys like you and Rob for stepping up and making the collegiate game, continuing to grow it as best as you guys can, continuing to put on the best performances you guys can, so that we can continue to see these national championship games and these tournaments, and you guys are even doing regional matchups as well. You got teams from the Midwest playing the Southeast. Sometimes they're coming from the Midwest and the West, and all that stuff coming together for, a 4-team type scramble, I guess you could call it.
Some of those are really cool. I mean, NCRHL's got the event in Chicago each year that's got, typically Lindenwood, Bethel, Arizona State, Farmingdale, Slippery Rock. So yeah, they often have teams from at least 3 conferences playing. And then I know, I think it's the event in Grove City that has teams traveling, right? That come in and play against the ECRHA team. So yeah, those are cool. I mean, what's funny is those are what help us really gauge not just the strength of the teams, but the strength of the conferences around the nation. Because, I mean, believe me, when we get to our selection Monday for nationals every year, it's really hard to rank teams that never play each other in the season. And we recognize it's not possible, right? Like, we all get it that a team from California can't go to Florida in the middle of the season. You really can't do that. The teams that are able to are lucky to do so. So those are great events, and I think it is an extra expense for some of those teams. But I know the teams that do it, I think it gives them those travel stories. For one, the fun part of the league, that is what I kind of dwell on a little bit, but really helps them see what their competition is like. Because you show up to nationals in D1 and you've never played a couple of the top D1 teams. It's hard. So if you played them once before, even if it wasn't a win, doesn't matter. But if you played them once in the season, you got a little bit more going in. You're okay. We can strategize this. Maybe we can try to figure it out. So those events, I think, are critical.
Yeah, the boys down in Pennsylvania, they love being able to call that action when they get that opportunity, because it really gives them a chance to see the high level collegiate has to offer. Because, and I mean it, like, they enjoy watching it. It's just like in the MyHa season that they have up here, that spreads out from New York to Chicago, but that's geared towards adults. So when you guys are done playing your collegiate level, you can join the MyHa, and put in a team, jump on a team, and you, again, same thing. You're playing from October all the way to May, 4 tournaments, per year. You get 4 or 5 games at a weekend. Sometimes that minimum 3. But you get your 2 round robin games, and then you play your tournament on Sunday, and you go until you lose. So it's one of those things where, again, you get to keep playing high level puck, because you get to put you in different tiers, and it goes from there.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, all right, Brennan. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of GCH Podcast. I'm your host, Ben W. Stock, with Executive Director Brennan Edwards for the National Collegiate Roller Hockey Association. Brennan, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to share with us the stories about how the NCRHA got a start, how it's going, with nationals coming up this literally starting tomorrow. April 17th all the way to would you say the
21st?
21st. Okay. Yeah. So round robin is going to start tomorrow, 17th through the 19th, you said, and then
Yep.
Playoffs are going to jump right into that.
Yep.
Can I ask if you have your picks in for who you think is going to win the national titles in each division?
Well, that is
You don't
the
have to play
interesting one.
favorites.
Okay.
Off
the top of my head, Lindenwood is so strong in D1, so that's probably a safe pick. One that you might not make your money back on if you did that in Vegas.
Right.
D2's got a good field, and we really weren't sure where. We have 14 teams in D2, and we invited them all. One didn't make it, or chose not to come. D2, I like the University of Arizona.
Okay.
I've seen them more this season than any other D2 team. I like them a lot. D3, let's see. I don't have a D3 choice, but there's a lot in ECRHA that are very comparable. So I'm going to make the safe play and just say one of the ECRHA teams will win D3. And AA, Lindenwood is still the team to beat there in AA. So I would go there. But those are my picks. I would just encourage everybody to try to watch. Yeah, if you're in Maine, come by. But watch us on the NCRHA TV. Check out our Instagram. We'll put up a bunch of photos throughout the week. Any other things going on. We will be making an announcement about the 2025 event at some point throughout this week. So I'll probably be on our Instagram live or something like that. So yeah, pay attention for that. But yeah, to all the teams that are traveling, we want them to stay safe and get the heck up to Auburn, Maine, and we'll get the puck dropped.
Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully it's close by me in Michigan that I can get a chance to swing over and catch some great collegiate hockey action.
Yep. It should be a great week. So everybody check it out, and we'll catch you next time.
All right. Again, I'm Ben W. Stock. That's Brennan Edwards, Executive Director for the NCRHA. Again, I can't thank you enough for taking the time.
I appreciate it. It's been fun.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks.